night that'll pass.
And don't talk to the children.
Guys, I think I did it. I found the worst Christmas movie of all time. Yes, it's worse than Christmas with the Cranks. It's worse than Deck the Halls. It's worse than the Jack Frost movies. This movie is insane. It's called The Nutcracker, The Untold Story, or The Nutcracker 3D, because I guess this was released during the whole 3D craze. Yeah, this was untold for a reason.
I better go to the little girl's room.
What do you mean by that?
It was directed by Andrei Konchalovsky. I probably butchered that name. It was also written by him and a guy named Chris Solomine. I haven't seen anything that these guys have worked on before. The budget for this movie was $90 million, and it made between 16 and 20 million. So it bombed fabulously. While the film was a joint effort between Russia, Hungary, and the United Kingdom, Russia's financing came in the form of VEB.RF. VEB.RF is a Russian corporation headed by Vladimir Putin. As of at least 2022, this was the most expensive Russian-produced film ever, which is ridiculous. I wanted to see this thing so desperately because of what people were saying about it. It ranks as #1 on many worst Christmas movies of all time lists. It has a 0% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, with reviews like, do not see this movie, do not take your children to see this movie, do not be tempted by the title or dancing visions of sugar plum fairies, do not put on the 3D glasses. It's flawless in its flaws, without a single redeeming element to obscure its idealized awfulness. The whole thing is just so astoundingly wrong-headed. One of the most wretched, misguided extravaganzas ever mounted on the big screen. A stale schnitzel. A Holocaust motive in a children's movie. Based. On a Nutcracker. No, we're not making this up. One of the most misguided children's films ever made. There's only one positive review of this movie, and guess what they had to say about it? And I quote, "This semi-delirious grand-scale extravaganza from the restless Russian filmmaker Andrei Konchalovsky is spiked with imagery from Holocaust nightmares and drug trips. This excerpt is written by Lisa Schwartzbaum, and it's the only positive professional review to date. She notes that her B+ rating is from a so bad it's good perspective, saying, 'Attention University Film Club, here's your cult-ready midnight movie programming.'" Yeah, this thing's bad. It's absolutely one of the craziest adaptations of a children's book I've ever seen. And now for a quick word from our sponsor, Proton VPN. Have you ever tried to watch something online but you weren't in the right country to do so? Or you tried to access a website but in that country it's blocked for some reason? You can get around these problems with Proton VPN. Proton VPN has 13,000 plus servers in 120 plus countries. They have high-speed connections with a VPN accelerator boosting speed by up to 400%. They have a no logs policy, verified by independent auditors, ensuring complete privacy. They have an integrated ad blocker, which blocks ads and trackers to enhance your browsing experience. They have a compatibility with servers like Netflix, torrenting, and global TV channels, giving you the freedom to access your favorite content securely and without restrictions. It's extremely easy to use. Simply select a server in a different country and connect to it. This routes your internet traffic through servers located in countries where the blocked site is accessible, allowing you to access it. These days, if you're not using a VPN, then you're not safe online. There are so many people that want your information so they can sell it to other people, so protect yourself with a VPN. Now is the time. Their Black Friday offer runs up until January 5th for new users, so check out Proton VPN's limited time Black Friday discounts today at protonvpn.com/Elvis, or click the link at the top of the description. Thank you so much to Proton VPN for sponsoring this video. Now back to the review. This movie is so baffling to me. Firstly, the lighting in this movie is so uninspired. It looks like it was made for the CW network, and the design for the Nutcracker is so weird. He looks like Gollum from Lord of the Rings with a Napoleon hat, or maybe this girl with freakishly huge eyes. I think they were trying to make him look cute, but they ended up making him look like he just drank 24 Monster Energy drinks.
He's not meant to be totally cute and gorgeous. Sylvain, our early storyboard artist, actually did a drawing very, very early on, which after all of the design work we did, we actually went back to, and that little drawing was the influence for what we have now.
You serious?
In the very beginning of the movie, when the Nutcracker is walking down some stairs with Mary, the CGI for the Nutcracker is so bad, when it places its hand against the wall, for some reason there's a shadow between his hand and the wall.
I don't want to get broken again.
I'm not sure what they were thinking with the voice actor, although for some scenes, it is hilarious, I can't lie.
What is going on?
Later in the movie, when the Nutcracker transforms back into a normal boy, for some reason, the Napoleon hat that he's wearing vanishes, and then when he transforms back to the Nutcracker, the hat reappears.
I hate this hat.
So why don't you take it off?
Because this hat is carved together with my head.
Nathan Lane is in this movie and he plays Uncle Albert. He's a jolly man that looks like Albert Einstein. Oh, wait a minute. Is Albert Einstein. They never explicitly call him Einstein in the movie, but he speaks about relativity.
Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one.
And he has a German accent and crazy hair and a mustache.
Black is white, day is night, so you might turn your highs to lows.
So it's heavily implied that this man is the Einstein. And this character is not Einstein in the original novel, so why is he Einstein in this reimagining? No fucking clue. Random as hell, I must say.
He's not necessarily Albert Einstein, but he certainly could be.
Oh yeah, it's totally not Albert Einstein. He just has the same name and No, he is. That is Albert Einstein. Like, what are you saying?
I'm always with you, dear.
Can you tell us the Nutcracker story?
Nathan Lane said this in the BTS footage.
It's certainly an unusual take on the Nutcracker.
This guy hates this movie. For some reason, author E.T.A. Hoffman, along with his original work, The Nutcracker and the Mouse King, which this film and every other version of the Nutcracker story is adapted from, aren't credited in the film in any way. Also, the Nutcracker has a nickname. It's NC. And when he says this to Mary, Mary is confused and she's like,
What, MC?
You can't touch this.
yeah, like MC Hammer. Can't you spell? Oh my God. I know she's young, but she can't spell Nutcracker? Okay, whatever. It's fine. And for some reason, they made the Nutcracker blink. Ugh, this looks so weird every time. It looks like they already removed its eyelids, so why the hell is it blinking? In the novel, there's the Mouse King and the mice. In this adaptation, though, they changed them to rats. So it's the Rat King, you know, like from Dark Souls, and his rat army.
Rats. I hate rats.
And they made them look like Dr. Seuss Who's from Whoville. And this movie was made 10 years after The Grinch Stole Christmas, so they should have been sued. These rats use rocket-powered gliders, by the way. They're very industrial. It makes a lot of sense. The original idea for the flying rats was to make them bats. I think that would have been so much better. Not only is it just more interesting and creative, but it just looks better. I mean, rats in these steampunk like rocket wings is dumb as shit. We get to see this giant structure rise from the ground in the middle of a city, and then the rat army emerges from it. This one guy sees a bunch of rats marching down the street, armed with guns, and he decides to smack them with his bouquet of flowers. Real effective strategy there, my guy. And guess what? These rats, well, they're Nazis. Like, they're literally just Nazis in this movie. It's unfucking believable.
The biggest fundamental change is that the Mouse King has become the Rat King.
Is it though? Is that the biggest difference?
You willing to help me turn Whoville into a concentration camp?
Let's do it.
The Rat King doesn't like the sun, by the way, so he constantly burns toys to create a huge black cloud above the Rat Kingdom. It's kind of strange though, because when we visit the Rat Kingdom, it isn't as dark as it should be, considering there's a massive smoke cloud above them. But anyway, the Rat King is Satoru Gojo with long, nasty nails. Look at that wig, it looks so good. It couldn't look worse. He's played by John Turturro.
You smug motherfucker.
And for some strange reason, even though he's on the cover art and he's the main antagonist of the film, he's not listed with the top 18 actors on this film's IMDb page. Did he request that his name be put further down because he's ashamed of being in this movie? Probably not, but if he did do this, I wouldn't blame him. When we first see his character, he snaps a rat band into existence behind him, and then he starts singing, and my God.
Humans just couldn't do it.
I like John Turturro as an actor, but the man was not put on this earth to sing. The Nazi rat dance he orchestrates is quite something. At the end of the song, they speed up the footage to make it look like the Nazi rats are scurrying away, and it looks horrendous. So yeah, this Rat King has like magic powers, but he hardly ever uses them in the movie. The movie doesn't really explain what his powers are, per se. He just has these random abilities to do random things at random moments. We then meet the Rat King's mother, played by Frances de la Tour. She's the one that put the spell on the prince to turn him into the Nutcracker, and she drinks rat piss in order to keep her power charged.
A little rat juice
The computer effects throughout this movie are constantly terrible. Even for the time, they are just god-awful. In this movie, the rats have these mechanical rat dogs. This scene of them chewing a tree down looks immaculate. I mean, I just love it so much. What depresses me about these mechanical rat dogs is that they actually built these things and they look pretty neat. It's just a shame that CGI ruined most of the scenes they're in. I have to admit, Elle Fanning's acting is fairly decent in this movie. That's one positive thing I can say about this pile of garbage. Director Konchalovsky has said that this film has been his dream project for over 20 years. He opted to do away with all the ballet sequences, which are an integral part to the vast majority of Nutcracker adaptations, because he believed ballet cannot work in a cinema well. He chose to employ the then popular 3D gimmick to appeal to families and help depict the fantasy elements of the film. He had said, "Our goal was to create a world in which fantasy was intertwined with reality, the way children experience the world. Toys spark their imagination, and we, like children, with incredible technology at our disposal, decide to play with these toys and give our fantasy absolute freedom." I don't think a lot of kids are fantasizing about Nazi rats, but I mean, hey, to each their own. There's a scene halfway through the movie where the Nutcracker picks up a pen, but then he gets flung around the room, and it's so funny. The voice acting is amazing during this part. And the effects are incredible. Not long after, we find that the Rat King has NC, you know, the Nutcracker, held hostage along with the other toys from the toy house. Mary shoots ink at him with the pen, and then the Rat King's mouth turns into a CGI nightmare as he growls at her. And this isn't the last time this happens, by the way. John Turturro's acting in this movie is not great. Just listen to him here. He yanks the head off of the drummer boy and plops it back on to show that he's truly an evil guy.
You might feel a little lightheaded.
Max, Mary's brother, the dumbass, decides to go with the evil Rat King after he does this in front of them, by the way.
Wow! Can you do that again, please?
The Rat King rides a rat Harley with machine guns on it because that's evil and cool. He then says this to Max.
Anything for boys who break toys.
God, just erase me already. The Nutcracker uses his Nutcracker jaw to bend the bars of a cage that he's trapped in so they can escape. And then the fat-ass Pennywise clown uses his dump truck to block the view of this happening. Oh my God. This movie is so deranged. Mary is sad, but at least she has her good friend, Generic Monkey from Planet of the Apes, or Pogo from the Umbrella Academy, to help her. I really like the close-up scene of the monkey's face as it squeezes through this mirror. If I saw this happen as Mary, I would be convinced that this is safe. So she follows along. It's extremely appropriate in this movie and not weird at all to put all this Holocaust imagery all over the place. There's so much of it in this movie, and it's just so fucking weird. Like, there's this pile of toys that the totally not Jews are circling around as they're forced to toss their toys or Jewish belongings into it. The rat plan is to ratify everyone. They want to destroy all the toys and turn everyone into rats against their will through ratification. They literally call it ratification. I do love the Rat King's ridiculous jump into the crowd during this scene so he can take pictures of sad children for his wall of sad non-rats that brings him joy. There's a scene where the drummer boy and the clown need to distract a rat so Mary can save NC from being burnt. At one moment, the drummer boy is drumming. He's then knocked over by the monkey who comes down this chute. And a second later, the drummer boy is breakdancing. And then the next second, they're all playing a song together. It's such a jarring scene. Like, what is happening? There's a revolt in the factory. This random guy throws a torch up to the kids above. And then they fend off a rat who has a gun. It like scurries away in fear of the flame for some reason. In the next scene, the Rat King's mother is yelling at the Rat King. She says,
"And little girls in love can be very dangerous."
And then she makes this face at him. Like, what is that? What are you doing? Anyway, remember that really creepy CGI rat scream they gave the Rat King earlier? Well, he does it again while riding his motorcycle and firing his guns at nothing. I love it when he does that weird CGI rat scream. Every time it looks great and it's not creepy or cringe. I love it. Originally, the Rat King was supposed to have this like mechanical protruding jaw instead of this like goofy face changing ability, which sucks so much. I wish they kept the protruding mechanical jaw because then they wouldn't be ruining his face with CGI and just making a joke out of the movie. And they could have played around with that a little bit more, making like this bionic rat or something. So then we get to see the flying rats rocket around this factory. They're shooting and missing and then shooting at nothing. One of their bullets just happened to hit a cable that's holding up an elevator that Mary is in. It falls like 3 feet and softly lands to the ground. And then in arguably the funniest scene of the movie, the Rat King bites through the iron doors of this elevator and then laughs through the hole. Like, holy shit, just watch this. My God, what the hell? Afterward, when Mary is removed from the elevator, he says to her,
"Shall I bite your fingers off?"
And look at him smile after he says this. Are you kidding me?
When I first read the script, I thought it was scary at times, which I thought was good.
At the end of the movie, the Rat King flies away with the kids in the dumbest looking helicopter ever conceived. Are those steel H-beams for rotor blades? And why does this helicopter have giant mechanical chicken legs? Anyway, the monkey climbs aboard, so the Rat King screams at him with his giant CGI nightmare teeth. They crash into a pile of toys and they all die. Just kidding, they softly land into this pile of toys. They're all fine aside from a little scratch on Mary's head. The Rat King shrinks into a regular rat. The sun returns. The prince is a human again and he's singing. Everyone is rejoicing. They all have flowers for some reason. Everyone lives happily ever after. And this nightmare movie ends. Oh my God. What the fuck was that?